With the heroic sacrifice of Grom Hellscream, the Pit Lord Manaroth was slain, and the demon curse that had plagued the orcs was put to an end. However, the combined human and orc forces moved deeper into Ashenvale Forest to ascertain whether a demonic threat still lingers in the land. Tyrande Whisperwind, the leader of the Night Elf sentinels, believes that the Outlanders will bring only doom to their enchanted homeland. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's a pretty good catch-up. Welcome back to Let's Play Warcraft 3. We are on to the final campaign of Reign of Chaos, the Night Elf campaign, Eternity's End.
Pardon, Priestess, but you've been staring out across Ashenvale for hours.
I sense something dark stirring within the forest, Chandras. It feels as if it's heading this way.
The greenskins who killed Cenarius?
Perhaps something more.
Put your backs into it. Jaina and the Orc War Chief expect this base to be built swiftly.
We shouldn't even be here. Or siding with the Orcs.
We're here to hunt the remaining demons, human. You're lucky our goals are the same.
All right, you men. Mind your business. Back to work.
So, these orcs and humans presume to run rampant through our lands? They will regret ever stepping foot into Ashenvale. We will establish a base and deal with these outlanders as they deserve.
Alright, so we have our Tree of Life. We start out with, we are going to entangle a gold mine, and while that is being constructed or entangled, we're going to set our 4 wisps to mine some lumber.
The Tree of Life is the heart of our Night Elf villages. Use the tree's ability to entangle the gold mine. After entangling the mine, send wisps in to extract gold. I stand ready.
We are well ahead of Tyrande on that. Also, we can come up here and recruit a couple of archers. Gives us a nice head start.
Create more moonwells. Wisps are friendly spirits that harvest gold and lumber for our villages. They also create the structures that allow us to train more warriors.
Wisps are a little bit like acolytes in that they get to just harvest while being stationary from the gold mine. They also get to harvest lumber like that. They have a couple of interesting properties.
By Elun. Immediately.
Your building is complete.
By Elun.
Now we're going to send them all back over. Train one more wisp up when we get the chance.
The moonwells are the source of our nourishment and strength. You can build additional moonwells to nourish more troops. I heed the voice of a wind.
Sometimes Tyrande has a little bit of like a Sailor J impression voice. So we're actually going to need to take one of these out of the gold mine just to build a moonwell so we have the supply freed up to build more wisps to mine optimally from that mine.
Immediately.
So the other special properties of wisps are that they are expended after summoning an ancient, which is most of like the unit producing buildings. Not moonwells. We'll get that wisp that was sent to create the moonwell back. But the one that we just used to create the Ancient of War that's in progress, we will lose that wisp. That wisp will become the Ancient of War, the building from which we train archers.
Your building is complete.
Also, wisps farm wood a little bit slower, and they don't destroy trees. Before, I think I accidentally suggested that they did. They just occupy the tree. And they can also burn enemy mana by exploding near them. So yeah, there's that. The fact that they are expended after building Ancients. Then we'll get to see a couple of other interesting bits of Night Elf flavor, like how their base building and how their buildings operate. You kind of saw a little bit of it so far. Just having the Tree of Life, walk over to the gold mine to entangle it. That's a common thing for Night Elf buildings. Is that? Oh yeah, you also got to see this in the Orc campaign. How Night Elf buildings can uproot and walk around, and also attack. They actually have attacks. They can just swat at you. It's pretty cool. It's probably one of my favorite aspects of Night Elves and their base building. Also, we need just a little bit of lumber. We also have our Moonwells, which act as the Night Elf farms.
Construct an ancient of war.
And there's also a gimmick associated with the Moonwells.
More lumber is required.
They have an ability that allows them to heal both health and mana of nearby units. You can do this either manually, selecting the Moonwell and casting its ability on an injured or mana-starved unit. You can set that to autocast, or you can select the unit and click on the well. And you can tell how many more times you get to use that well based on how much water is in the fountain. When you can't use that ability anymore, you'll see that the well runs dry. So right now our goal is just to continue to pump out archer after archer after archer. Hopefully lose a minimal number. They also have this ability. All Night Elves have this. This is called Hide or Shadow Meld. During the nighttime, Night Elf units get to go invisible.
So be it.
Also, you'll note that the basic starter unit for Night Elves are not actually melee units, for once. This is the only exception to that. We had footmen, ghouls, and grunts for humans, undead, and orcs, respectively. But the basic tier 1 starter for a Night Elf is an archer, ranged unit. And archers are to footmen what huntresses are to riflemen, even though, respectively, they are ranged and more or less melee. Huntresses are still, I think, technically ranged, but they throw glaives from pretty much point-blank distance. But our starter unit, the thing that we are going to mass mostly in this opening unit, or in this opening mission, woo, sleep deprivation kicking in! This is the last video of the day before I finish up and get ready to go to sleep to get on my train to Boston tomorrow. Woo. That's gonna be a rough one.
Your building is complete. More lumber is required.
And lost that train of thought.
Someone threatens the wilds. So be it.
It has some interesting implications for this mission, and for the way you engage enemies, since you don't have quite as many pathing issues with these all being ranged units. Also, the teal glowing owl that you saw me send out is my Priestess of the Moon, Tyrande's starting ability. It's just a scout that you can send out across the map. Doesn't last too long. It doesn't do anything else except provide vision to you. So it's a really nice scouting ability, but not much else going on there. Oops. Gonna take a drink for the Moonwell. And rally more archers and bring this one back. And really, between the Moonwells and just a small handful of archers, this really is enough to deal with that small threat coming at the base. Which frees us up to attack this joint orc and human base. And our main goal is just to first draw the paladin out. And then... Oh, that's the other nice thing about Shadow Melt. And then kill the paladin. But yeah, that's the super nice thing about Night Elves. You don't necessarily, unless they have True Sight, you don't necessarily have to pull them back to micro them back, or to break targeting. You can just Shadow Melt them. Paladin is being really stubborn here. Of course, that ability goes away once it is daytime, which I kind of ignored. I think he's finally coming. We don't have to deal with the base, we really just have to kill the paladin, which is easier said than done. He can be really annoying. He starts off level 6 compared to our level 2 Priestess of the Moon. And if we try to engage him along with his units, he is a ridiculously low mana cost, low cooldown Holy Light. That is very, very easy for him to just spam, and it sucks. So the fact that we were able to peel all of them away and just get this nice one-on-one fight is tremendously to our benefit.
As the goddess wills. Waiting on you. Fair enough. Down.
So now all we have to do is just grind Duke Lionheart, whatever, down. Also, I picked up True Shot Aura, which is a big old buff to all of the ranged attacks that we are doing. Big old aura buff.
So be it. The goddess calls.
Oh, I can literally feel my brain melting. And, yeah, literally. And my voice giving out. I will not last much longer. So we'll pull back again, and we can just keep rallying in. These are not terribly expensive units. Probably one of my favorite starters, especially being ranged. In fact, of the tier 1 units, the combo of Huntresses, which we'll see in the next mission, and Archers, it might be my favorite tier 1 combo. Like my favorite set of starting units for all the races.
In the name of Cenarius.
The undead! Defend yourselves!
They must have followed us from Lordaeron.
Save us. The dead advance in waves.
Quickly, my sisters. Back to the trees. We are no match for a force this fast.
The undead are tireless. There's no way to outrun them.
You see, Lord Archimald, we need not fear the Night Elves. The Scourge can...
Archimond, after 10,000 years, how is it possible?
The Legion has returned to consume this world, woman. And this time, your troublesome race will not stop us.
Fools! Let her slip away! Find her, damn you! Find her and kill her!
The day we have long feared has finally come. The Burning Legion has returned. I must cross the river and warn the rest of my sisters before all is lost.
Oh, this mission's a lot of fun. Namely because it is so much different than what we are used to. It is a stealth mission.
Lord Archimonde wants them found.
As the goddess.
Granted, the ability to hide makes a tremendously easy stealth mission, but it is a stealth mission nonetheless.
I must avoid being seen. Immediately.
So one-on-one, we cannot take Doom Guards on.
Immediately.
And you might think, why am I not just running past them? Remember, Doom Guards have the ability to cripple you, which slows your movement speed down. There it is. To nearly nothing. Your attack rate as well. Like, look, there's no way I can escape from a pursuit. Luckily, the Doom Guards in this mission have pretty low aggro radii.
So be it.
So, whoop. And of course, they're doing chaos damage.
As the goddess wills.
So they're hitting pretty damn hard, even against this armor type.
As the goddess wills.
Oh, and you'll see that my health is regenerating pretty quickly from that one single strike we took. That's another special property of Night Elves. They have increased health regeneration during nighttime.
Immediately.
Increased compared to other races, that is. It's fairly substantial. Oh, I wish you would go away. I didn't mean to put myself in this dead end. Yeah, even though we got some decent items out of it. Oh, come on. I always worry that their pathing is gonna get stuck on my invisible collision box
Immediately.
and bug their patrol routes out.
The goddess wills. Immediately.
I don't think it's ever happened, but I'm always worried that it's going to.
As the goddess wills. By Elune. So be it. By Elune.
Aluna Dore, priestess. We are yours to command.
Inventory is full.
So be it.
And now we have a large force to stealth around this linear map with, but that this size of our forces doesn't actually matter because they have access to the same hide ability that Tyrande does. Now this will go more or less even, so we can just speed this up, not draw any attention, fire a volley of arrows, hide, make sure they're not aggroing to us. And this shouldn't really tip the scales too much. I think this always ends with either a ghoul and a half or like a footman and a half alive.
Love for the undead, but I dare not trust them.
So if we go through this whole thing and we don't get touched by anything, we did this just right. So our goal is to make it to this teal base, which will occasionally be under attack from a yet unseen undead base. And our goal is to make it over to that to provide reinforcements to them for once.
Immediately.
So we are on a bit of a timer. I think it's a timer until that base gets destroyed, although I don't know how long that takes.
It might prove useful to me.
What treasure is that? It's just a mantle of intelligence. I think I can live without that. So once things are a little more clear, we'll make a run for the waygate. In fact, we can just get around. Might not even lose that one archer. Awesome. Because they are too busy fighting each other. The other timer that we're on is...
Aluna Dore, priestess. Be wary. The Doom Guards command shades that can see us, even when we meld with the shadows. We'd best stay away from them.
The other timer that we're on is right there in the upper center of the screen. Time itself. The day-night cycle. Once it becomes day again,
You cannot hide from us.
Once it becomes day again, we can no longer hide. And with the shades out, we can't hide terribly well as is. So we are just gonna zerg down the shades and regain our ability to hide from the patrolling Doom Guards. Because the shades have true sight, they would... Whoops, that's not quite what I wanted. I want to click on the item. The shades have true sight, so they can detect us. Luckily, these owls perched in the trees, placed there by the huntresses,
Shadow powers will not hide you from our sight.
also have true sight, so they will reveal the otherwise invisible shades. And there's one more that we want to take care of. These two, oh, they're just going to slow me down because they're crippled.
Say no more.
And they're units that are crippled, which is even worse because I believe units take increased crowd control time. That's really not a cogent thought. They are more heavily affected by CC. CC effects last longer on them. Ooh, we're getting there, Dave. We're doing it. God, I'm talking to myself. I mean, I guess that's kind of the nature of LPing, is talking to yourself as if you aren't. This sleep deprivation is going to bring about some kind of existential crisis. I can feel it. Oh, we don't really need that item.
The goddess calls.
You motherfucker. Patrol. Patrol. You can do it. Patrol.
Speak your mind.
Is this the thing that I was afraid of?
Immediately.
We're gonna go for it.
Ambush! Run for your lives! We'll regroup in the clearing ahead.
Our warriors have engaged.
If all we do is lose that one archer back there, I think I'm okay with that. I don't really feel like dropping anything for that scroll of protection. We're not actually gonna need it in this mission or anytime in the near future.
Sisters. It is I, Tyrande.
Luckily, that one Doomguard in the corner is occupied trying to slaughter all the footmen, and that takes him a while, so we have time to come up here and open the gate.
By Elune. As the goddess wills. So be it.
And now we have one major thing left to do in the mission.
By Elune.
Just bypass the Spirit Tower first. And then come up here where we find ballistas. Oh, that's the plural ballistae? Did not know that. But before we go and siege the teal base that's standing between, or the green base that's standing between us and our other Night Elf compatriots, we're gonna have y'all deal with all of the ghouls and some of the necromancers that come out. Put another point in true shot to buff everyone's damage. And we're gonna have the ballistae attack ground on these trees to make a clearing. Because there is a really, really fiendishly well hidden Easter egg. And it's a good one too. One that will even help us, mind you.
As the goddess wills.
So in the trees behind the ballistae, somewhere around here, I think we just have to clear these. Perfect. There is a Hydralisk. There is this cheeky little hidden Hydralisk that we can recruit. A Hydralisk from StarCraft.
As the goddess wills.
So there are a bunch of StarCraft units that are in the game. Most of them don't make an appearance in the campaign, but you can find Lings. I'm pretty sure there are Marines. I think there are infested Marines too. You can find quite a bit.
So be it.
And now we are going to slowly siege up all the Spirit Towers with our ballistae. Should we pull back? Yeah, it's fine. So one of the nicest things about Huntresses is their glaive bounce. So they do minor amounts of chip damage. We should pull back a bit. Let the ballistae do their things. No, we have to deal with this. They do minor chip damage to adjacent units and buildings because the glaives bounce from the primary target to the secondary. They do reduce damage with the bounce, but it's still fucking super handy. It's still quite a bit of DPS.
Someone threatens the wilds. So be it.
Oh, I didn't realize there was more up here. I never actually realized there was more waiting up by the fountain.
Our warriors
Oh, that would be helpful.
In the name of Cenarius.
Now there's really nothing left. Worth taking out this one last spirit tower. Then sicken 6 ballistae on the spirit tower here that's gonna maybe poke at us from the other edge of the gate. And we are good. Our Hydralisk buddy actually dealt a shitload of damage.
Tyrande, praise Elune, you've made it. The undead appeared out of nowhere and attacked our village without warning.
Ishnudaldiem Chandris, we have a greater problem. The undead were sent here by the Burning Legion, our ancient enemies of old. Against such might, we have only one option. We must awaken the druids.
Alright, so that was our intro to the Night Elf campaign. Thank you all for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one.